Hello, today I'm going to show you a walk around of the Fuel50 platform. So the individual would go in here at the login page and they would then be brought to their landing page. So this is the full suite of Fuel50, all the functionality that it can offer from mentoring, coaching, pathing, reflections. You're able as a business to pick and choose the different functionalities you want. But what I'm going to do today is just walk you through the system and show you some of the things it can do. So the individual will land on this homepage and they'll see the business reason for being there. So you can explore Fuel50. All text and imagery is completely customizable. But normally the first point of call is this personalized piece. So the idea is that the individual goes in and goes through a series of different reports. So you've got here, for example, the values, which looks at what's important to them. So look at their engagers. They can rate how satisfied or dissatisfied they are with them. They can map these to the business that they're currently working within. We've also got this piece around talent. So this looks at the skills they've got, what we call motivated talents, things they enjoy doing, and the things that they're looking to develop. And this can be based on your competency framework or just our generic list of talents. So you can see here, the individual can look at their current role, skills and competencies they've got, their target role, the different skills and competencies, and then they can rate themselves on this. So you can see they can rate their skill, whether they enjoy it, whether they'd like to advance it, or in fact, whether they'd like to do it less. So they can work their way through that. And then moving on to the next reflection piece, we've got this My Work Style, which is based on the work of John Holland that looks at typically different personalities are attracted to different roles. So you can see here I'm influential organising. And then this final piece, which is the agility piece, which is based on the work of Kathy Benko, which looks at where is your career right now and what's your propensity to move on. So what's your pace, what's your ability, what role stage are you? So the person can have a real insight into what it is that they were looking to develop and achieve from their career. So this piece gives the individual the understanding of themselves and how they might want to manage their career better. The system then lends to this piece around coaching. So it's the idea that you would go back to your team manager once you understand what it is that you want to get from your career, and you'd actually have a conversation with them. So you can see here we've got team coach. So I, as a team manager, can see the people in my team and the reports that they've completed. So you can see here Felicity, I'm able to look at what she's done. I can look at all of her engagers and her values, her work style, and her talents as she's completed them. So you can see this here. So this helps me have a real understanding of people within my team. And the whole position of this is that the idea is that the manager and the person within their team have that real open, connected conversation quite regularly. So you can see here, if I push coach, it's a real support mechanism for the manager to have those conversations, because you've got different conversation starters based on the information they put in. And you can also see things like the goals that the person sets, what they're looking to achieve. And then we've also got this element around the performance. So I don't know if you use an external system right now, but what you could do is use this as the system, and you get people to put in their objectives. So you can see here to grow my sales performance knowledge. I can then add when I've completed things, and the manager is able to see that and add notes, and we can see the progression as the person works through it. We also have this ability to add ratings. So should things like bonuses be leveled against ratings, and this is in order to do that. So you can see here, you can add a rating to this. Okay. So then I'll go on to the next piece. So I'm going to look at the journey. So the idea is the individual's gone in, they're really aware of what it is they want to do and what they'd like to achieve, so they can be in control of their own career. What the system's then able to do is give them some ideas of what it might be they can achieve based on the skills they've got and the things they want to achieve, develop. So here's some ideas. So for example, this can be a very limit. So for example, you don't have to open up to be able to see all roles across the business, but it can be just based on a few. So I can see here, I'm a product sales manager. I want to view the journey to executive director. The system's able to show me, here's me. It's one move to senior manager, director of sales, to the executive. I'm then able to see a skills analysis gap. So there's 10 of my skills that are estimated ready to go, but 5 need leveling up. And you can see here, they're not just self-rated. So they can be approved by the manager. So the idea is it's not just how you see yourself, but it's also about how the business sees you. What we've also, based on information going in, we're able to go and show the skills that are in demand, i.e. business alignment actually is quite in demand throughout the business, but not many people have it, i.e. if I go and develop that skill, I'm quite likely to be more employable across the business. To have a more traditional view, you can have your organisation, so i.e. the person can see where they are. So here's my role now at level 4. I can then see all of the similar roles for me across the business at level 4. I can see different roles up. So I'm then able to go. So if we see here, got product sales, I can then click on this and see a field analysis. And I can see the skills I have and the things I need to develop. I've also can see the job description and responsibilities. As an individual managing my own career, I can then add that as a target role, actually to know what I'm really interested, or much the same if you link this to your vacancies, we're able to just get the individual to just go and apply for the vacancies through the system. So I'm going to show you now. So this is a much more traditional view that most of our clients use if they use the pathing. So this is your suggested role. So this gives the individual a real overview of different roles across the business. So for example here, all parallel roles might be roles that you might consider from different areas of the business, so i.e. HR to finance or marketing to operations, but it will give you that direct move across the business. And once again, it will give you the skills analysis gap for them. But also, it also gives them the next level, so the stretch roles. So this is the bar thing. And what I would say is the analysis is very much based upon competency and frameworks that you would want to put in. We can design those. We have a blueprint that are set for the organisation, but typically organisations like to tailor these to their sector. So that's the pathway piece. Just going to reset here. So obviously the idea is that, you know, the individual understands what's important to them, they've done the pathways, and then off the back of that, based on the information they've put in, there's then a couple of other elements that really do help support the individual's growth. So we've got here what we call gigs. Some of our clients call them projects or assignments. But for example, based on the information you put in, i.e. these are the skills I want to develop, what the system will do for you is showing you different projects and gigs across the business that you might want to apply for. So you can see here, and all the data is based on the API, but actually, let's say return to work ambassador, I can go and have a look at the gigs and see this is the gig description. So this is what would be involved. These are the skills that I would grow. I can see who that reports into, what the assignment is, whether it's on site or away, either in remote working. And then I'm just able to raise my hand on this. So why am I interested in it? What I'm likely to develop, and the reason I'd be most best suited for the gig. And then the idea is it really does support that organisational leading the learning. So the idea is the individual goes straight through to the person who's up running the project. So actually it doesn't involve different areas of the business having to communicate that, but also the manager can then see that, because within the team view, they get a notification that their team are applying for different gigs. So this also lends to, as you can imagine, the mentoring piece. So as you can see here, we've got a series of different mentors that are suggested for me based on what I've put into the system. And I'm then able to go and find those people. So let's say Maria here, I can see her coaching style and her profile, and then I can also see her skills and her talents. So I can then work out what I'd like to raise if I'd like to raise my hand and work with her. So then I'm able to put this and send her the request straight away. Now, the absolute bonus about this is that mentors can turn their profiles on and off, i.e. they can make themselves live. You can see literally just by the flick of a button here. So they're in control of their own mentees, but they then also get the profiles that the team manager has, i.e. you're able to see the people you're mentoring, their reflections. So it really does support them through that process of being a coach or a mentor. And then a couple of other elements that we've put in based on the data that's in there is this learn. So we can link this to your LMS. So we've done it to LinkedIn Learning, but what it does is basically based on what you're telling the system you want to develop. So for example, I've got building relationships. What it does to our LMS is then build me all of the different programs within LinkedIn Learning that would be of most benefit to me and help me develop those skills. And then the final piece is around this vacancies, i.e. the individual has access to see your live vacancies internally. And then in fact, they could just apply. So based on the skills that they put in, their profile that they set at the very outset, then able to literally apply through the system. We've had this functionality that you can post videos about different vacancies, so the hiring manager, and much the same with the gigs. From a organisation's perspective, the real bonus of this is you have this ability to see all the data. So the analytics are the real key. So what you're able to do is see exactly what people are telling you, i.e. the skills they've got, what they're wanting to develop, where your gaps are. You're able to see how engaged they are, what they're looking to achieve across the business. So it really gives you this insight into where you might go. And it's all laid out in a very nice format. So you can see here, we've got this fuel analytics. But we've also got it much more deeply. So it might be that your HR team gets access to this, or your data teams, but we can quite literally show you all the different vacancies across the business, the people that are targeting those roles. And so you can really nail down into this, and then you can get your talent matrix out of it. And in fact, some of our organisations use it to do their talent mapping. So as you can see, the system's very comprehensive, got lots of different functionality. What I would say is most people kind of pick and choose from the suite around what they want. And they enable people really just to put the data in so that they can then learn all they can about the organisation. And actually, it's very much employee-led. So thank you very much for your time today, and I hope you have a good day. Thank you.